Hello learners, welcome to the third week lecture 1 of English Grammar for Employability. In the previous video lecture of week 1 and 2, we have gone through some practical problems of different parts of speech, articles and punctuations. Today we shall discuss the problems associated with time and tenses. As you know that the tenses are the basis of English grammar. Of course, every element of English grammar is important, but tenses are probably the most important. It is observed that a majority of students make mistakes in tenses that affect both their speaking and writing. If we wish to write a correct sentence or we wish to say anything to anyone, we need to express that idea in the right form of tenses. It is common to us as we have been studying tenses since our school days. But there are something which is indispensable to learn, as a little knowledge or incorrect knowledge of the tenses might land the students in trouble. So let's start the topic tenses. Sometimes we say time and tense. Broadly speaking, there are 3 divisions of tenses, and these are present, past and future. Each of these divisions are further divided into 4 subdivisions, namely indefinite, continuous, perfect and perfect continuous. To get the primary idea about all the tenses in a nutshell, it is prudent to analyze this chart on the screen. What do you see in this chart? What do you notice in this chart, in this table? Well, there is one common thing which is obvious, and that is verb, the most important part of a sentence. Means if we change the verb, the tense will automatically change. So to say one statement in different tenses, we have to change the verbs, that is helping verbs like is, am, are, was, were, will, shall, has, have, had, etc. and the main verb. The second important point in this table is all indefinite tenses you see, we use first form of the main verb except past indefinite affirmative sentences wherein we use second form of the main verb. In continuous tenses, in all continuous tenses, you see we use ing form of the main verb. In perfect tenses, third form of the verb, and in perfect continuous tenses, we use again been, B-E-E-N, been plus ing form. Present indefinite indicates a general truth or a usual statement, a habitual action, an action continuing at the moment, a scheduled action, and also a citation. For example, the earth revolves round the sun. It is a general truth. Second sentence you see, I get up early in the morning and go to school. The sentence is showing habitual action. I play cricket every day. Once again, it is habitual action. It is habit in present. The sailor sells his edibles and closes the shop in evening. What does this sentence show? This sentence shows an action at the moment. Now in the another sentence, the Prime Minister leaves for the USA on Sunday. Now here in this sentence, you see there is a scheduled action. Another sentence on the screen you see, Alexander Pope says, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Now this statement is a citation from Alexander Pope. Now let's take the another tense, that is the present continuous. It is also known as present progressive tense. It indicates a continuous action at the time of speaking as incomplete activity or state, and a scheduled program in immediate future. For example, Martin is reading a novel. It is a continuous action. Alex is working hard to score good marks in the examination. It is incomplete activity Alex is doing. I'm returning from Delhi by tomorrow evening. Now it is a programmed action. Let's take the another tense, present perfect. It is used to denote a complete action or any action that is already completed. For example, I have done all what is assigned to me. Now the work is complete here. The action is complete. The earthquake has damaged the whole building. It is also complete action. Let's take the fourth one, that is present perfect continuous tense. It is used to denote an action is still continuing through that action is partially complete and has its bearing on the present movement. For example, I have been writing a book for 2 months. Now action yet to end. It is not completed, though partially completed it is. She has been ill since Monday. Here in the sentence, action yet to end. It is not complete, though partially complete. Let's take the another tense, that is past indefinite. This tense denotes a complete action having no bearing on the present, a habitual action in past, and also an imaginative action in the past. For example, these are the examples before you. He submitted all his documents in the office. Now action is complete in past. I met Sohan last night. Complete action there is also. When I was a child, I played marbles whole day. Now in this sentence, the habitual action it is showing. When I was a child, I played marbles whole day. It is habitual action in past. Another sentence you see on the screen, I would contribute to the right cause if I were you. Imaginative past this is. Here you are required to remember this rule. In past indefinite tense, it is important to know that the words like ago, back, past, a few years ago, last, yesterday, etc. These are always used in past indefinite tense and not in past perfect tense. Remember, this is very important. Sometimes students don't figure out this mistake while error detection. So remember this rule. Now analyze these sentences on the screen. I had gone to Delhi yesterday. What do you see in this sentence? There is a word yesterday here, which is wrong according to the tense, because yesterday is used in past indefinite tense. So the correct sentence is here, I went to Delhi yesterday. Let's take some more examples here. The movie ended 5 minutes ago. This sentence is right. It is correct. Because movie ended 5 minutes ago is already in past indefinite tense. Let's take the another sentence. My parents traveled to London last year. Here also the sentence is right because this is already in past indefinite. Now let's see these sentences. Columbus had discovered America many years ago. Now in this sentence, what is the mistake? The rule you have recently learned, according to that, the sentence is incorrect. The tense is incorrect, rather. Because Columbus had discovered America many years ago, here we have ago, and ago is used in past indefinite tense only. So the right sentence is, Columbus discovered America many years ago. Let's take another sentence. Sometimes voice is changed. Remember, voice is changed and students are again confused to find the error. See this example. The writers had been arrested on charge of violence and force last month. The sentence is wrong. So the correct sentence is here. The writers were arrested on charge of violence and force last month. It is the correct sentence now. Now let's take the another tense, that is past continuous tense. It indicates a continuous action at the time of speaking or referring to the activity or any activity, and an incomplete action in the past. For example, I was studying mathematics at the time of his arrival. Now the activity or the action is continuous here. Let's take the another sentence. We were watching movie when he came. It is also continuous action. The work is going on. The another tense on the screen is past perfect tense. This tense refers to a complete action at the given moment. It also refers to an action the part of which is over and some is yet to over. For example, the examination had finished peacefully. Here the action is complete, the work is complete. Second sentence, the patient had expired before the doctor reached there. Now here is an action complete before the another commenced. Now let's take the another tense, past perfect continuous. This tense denotes an action or activity in progress for some time and was yet incomplete at the time of making a reference to it. For example, the students had been studying since 5 o'clock. Here action in progress for some time. Here is a time duration. We use since and for time duration. My neighbors had been residing here for 6 years. So here is also time duration. So it is past perfect continuous tense. Now let's see future tense. That is its indefinite, continuous, perfect and perfect continuous. So let's take first future indefinite tense. Future indefinite tense refers to a future activity, while future continuous tense refers to an uncertain future action. Future perfect refers to an action already completed, but with a tinge of uncertainty. Whereas future perfect continuous refers to an action is still in progress for some time now. For example, I shall read a good book tomorrow. It is future indefinite. Let's see the another sentence. He will be helping his friends. Now it is a continuous action. So the tense is future continuous. The another sentence you see, she will have finished her work by this time. Now it is future perfect tense you see. And the final one on the screen is they will have been working for 3 days. Now here is a time duration. Since and for is used for time duration. So it is future perfect continuous. Remember, shall is used with first person, that is I and we. Will with second and third person, that is you, he, she, it, they, etc. But this order is reversed in case of any command, determination, purpose, promise, threat, willingness, etc. For example, these are the sentences on the screen. I shall read book. First person, that is. You will go home tomorrow. Second person, you is second person, so will is used. She will lend me some money. For she, we have used will here because this is the third person. Remember, present perfect tense and past indefinite may be used together because of differing but unifying senses. For example, I have written to my friend many letters since he visited me last. Here an action is complete, you see, but since gives some ideas to be thought of only in present tense. Now let's take the another sentence. I have completed my work since he instructed me. The same rule is applicable on this sentence too. But it is wrong to say the feudal system has given way to socialism in our country after independence. Here in this sentence, has to be omitted, and also the tense is to be changed to past indefinite according to the rule. The another point you have to keep in mind is an adverb cannot qualify a perfect, especially present perfect tense. For example, I have formally informed him of these developments. Now it is wrong. The right sentence you see is, I formally informed him of these development. Here are some more rules. The past tense of the reporting verb affects the tense of the reported speech, the second part. And the tense of the reported speech is therefore changed accordingly. For example, present indefinite to past indefinite, present continuous to past continuous, present perfect to past perfect, present perfect continuous to past perfect continuous, and past indefinite to past perfect continuous. For example, if you say the sentences in direct speech such as, Dinesh said, Sohan is a nice fellow. Now while changing the tense in indirect speech, the tense of the second part will change. Now it is a sentence on the screen. Dinesh told that Sohan was a nice fellow. So is changed into was. Simple present to simple past. Let's take the another sentences. The expert said, the prices are rising now. Changing into indirect speech, the expert told that the prices were rising then. Another sentence, he told me I have been to Spain. He told me that he had been to Spain. The another sentence, he said, I will be in Geneva on Monday. The indirect speech you see now, he said that he would be in Geneva on Monday. So you see here in these tenses that the tenses are changed. But where a universal truth is used in the reported speech or clause, first part, the above rule doesn't apply at all. For example, you see here, my teacher said, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Now in the sentence, there is a universal truth. So the tense will not be changed in the second part. So the sentence will be said as, my teacher told that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Another rule is, present tense and future tense in the principal clause may be followed by any tense in the subordinate clause. It is important. Ramesh has said that he will obey his teachers. Second sentence you see, he knows why he had come to me. The third sentence is there, you know what my intentions were. Another point which is also important to know, any tense is permissible in comparative facts indicated through clauses, notwithstanding the fact of the variety of intentions and purposes. For example, she likes Ram better than you. Ramesh liked Shyam as well as he likes his relatives. Another point you see on the screen is two differing principal verbs in voice or number takes corresponding helping verbs. Here are some examples. Two examples are here. One student was selected and the rest rejected. Now in the second part there is no helping verb. So the sentence is wrong. The correct sentence is one student was selected and the rest were rejected. Now the sentence is right. Now see the sentences. The central zone was divided into 15 parts and these parts were administered by powerful officers. This sentence is wrong. Remove helping verb were before administered. Because the subject is one, the central zone, you see, that is bold, is enough. So one helping verb is enough here. Now see the correct sentence. The central zones were divided into 15 parts and these parts administered by powerful officers. Now here are some sentences on the screen. Stop the video, analyze the sentences and find the mistakes in these sentences. Then resume the video to find the correct answers. Let's take the first one. My friend worked with Tata Motors for 2 years before he joined Mahindra Automobiles last year. Now in this sentence what you see? Part A is wrong. Use had worked, because when we have two sentences joined by before, we know that we use past perfect in first sentence and past indefinite in second sentence. Remember this key. Past perfect plus before plus past indefinite. And the another key is past indefinite plus after plus past perfect. These two keys are important. Now see the correct sentence. My friend had worked with Tata Motors for 2 years before he joined Mahindra Automobiles last year. Now the sentence is correct. Let's take the another sentence. My maternal uncle had lived in London for the last 6 months and these days he is in America. Now in this sentence there is mistake in part A. Remove had means use past indefinite tense here because there is a word last in part B and we know that the words like ago, back, past, a few years ago, last, yesterday, etc. are always used in past indefinite tense and not in past perfect tense. Remember, so had is wrong here. Now the correct sentence you see is my maternal uncle lived in London for the last 6 months and these days he is in America. Now let's take the another sentence on the screen. Oh God, it is raining since morning and it does not seem to stop for the next 2 or 3 hours. Well, in this sentence, the word since is used and we know that it is used in perfect continuous tense. So remove is from part A and use has been, and now the correct sentence you see, oh God, it has been raining since morning and it doesn't stop and it doesn't seem to stop for the next 2 or 3 hours. Let's take the another sentence that is on the screen. The work on rapid metro is going on since last January and expected to be completed within the next few months. Like the previous sentence, in this sentence too, the word since is used. And we know that the word is used in perfect continuous tense. So remove is from part A and use has been. Now see the correct sentence. The work on rapid metro has been going on since last January, and it is expected to be completed within the next few months. Now let's take the another sentence. I know he has been in this party waiting for an opportunity to highlight his leader-like qualities. Well, in this sentence, the use of has been is irrelevant because there is no time duration. So this sentence should be simply in continuous tense. To correct this sentence, use is in place of has been and say this sentence as, I know he is in this party waiting for an opportunity to highlight his leader-like qualities. Let's take the another sentence. She is waiting for the right moment to say all this since 2000, but she has not got any yet. Well, we know preposition since is used in perfect continuous tenses. So remove is from part A and use has been. Now it is the correct sentence before you. She has been waiting for the right moment to say all this since 2000, but she has not got any yet. Now let's take another sentence. I'm feeling like having some drink. So I think we should move to some nearby pub. Well, part A of this sentence is wrong because the verb feel is used in indefinite tense. If it is used for mental urge or any impression. So remove am and use first form of the verb, that is feel, in part A. Now see the correct sentence. I feel like having some drink, so I think we should move to some nearby pub. Let's take the another sentence. We are in the city for the last 10 years, but we never know that it was established by the English. If you read this sentence carefully, you will find that in the sentence there is a time duration. There is a time duration for the last 10 years. So, the sentence will be in present perfect continuous according to the rule. Now remove are in the part A and use have been. Now see the correct sentence. We have been in the city for last 10 years, but we never know that it was established by the English. Now let's take the another sentence. My friend used to work till 10 p.m. and then he goes to bed. Well, we know that used to is used for past habitual action, means habit in past. So replace the verb go with went in part D and say the sentence as, my friend used to work till 10 p.m. and then he went to bed. Now let's take the last sentence of the session. Mike was knowing everything about the director, but he pretended to be all ignorant about him. Now in this sentence, remember, there are some verbs in English which are stative verbs. And these verbs are not used generally in continuous sense or continuous tenses. Note these verbs somewhere. These are know, K-N-O-W, adore, admire, depend, hope, believe, doubt, want, wish, care, desire, understand, feel, look, etc. So the verb knowing in part A of the sentence should be replaced by knew, K-N-E-W, to correct this sentence. Now see the correct sentence. Mike knew everything about the director, but he pretended to be all ignorant about him. So this was the first part of the tenses, and by now we have learned basics of tenses along with their current patterns and correct uses. I hope that you have learned some important tips and techniques to detect errors in the uses of time and tenses. And these will help you in your competitive examination. In the forthcoming video, we shall discuss another part of the tenses. So stay tuned and enjoy learning. Thank you.